So it's time now for this week's difficult conversation. And today I'm joined by a British-Brazilian television personality, Jessica Alves. Jessica was formerly known as the Human Ken doll and has spent over £1 million undergoing over 100 cosmetic procedures to change not just her appearance, but her gender. Born Rodrigo Alves in Sao Paulo, Brazil, she moved to London at the age of 18 and has been making headlines ever since. Now, Jessica made a splash on Celebrity Big Brother in 2018, and as one of the most colourful and entertaining characters in the showbiz scene, she's become a fixture on the red carpet, and I'm delighted to say that Jessica Alves joins me live in the studio now. Jessica, thank you so much for coming.
It's so nice to see you. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, you look fabulous. Crikey.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So talk to me, because the last time I looked, I think it was only last week, you were announcing that you've finally finished all these amazing procedures that you've done. Talk us through, why did you first of all choose to change your gender? And then also, you know, now you've got through the procedure, do you feel like that you've finally finished and you're where you want to be?
Changing your gender is a big decision. It wasn't a choice, it was a condition. And I regard it as a medical condition, so I had to address it medically. And I started my transition 6 years ago, first with psychological treatment and also hormone therapy, followed by plastic surgeries, aesthetic surgeries, and gender reassignment surgery and voice code surgery. So I did everything that I could possibly do with the help of amazing doctors around the world and the support of my friends and family to be a woman and to be the woman that I am today. And I'm happy.
Yeah, well, that is the main thing. But how are you funding it? £1 million? I can't even dream of that.
It was spent not in one go. I'm 40 years old. I started having plastic surgeries when I moved to the UK at the age of 18. And it was not all at one go. So I would say I would have a surgery every 6 months. But even back then, I knew I was a woman. My mind, my spirit, my soul has always been very much female. And I struggled with my gender identity throughout being a child, throughout my teenage year. And because not being a biological woman back in the day, I was very much physically bullied, verbally attacked, and I didn't understand why. So what was wrong with me? But then once being in England, going to university and making new friends, and I know here I'd like to believe that we live in a free society and that we have a freedom of speech and freedom to express ourselves however we want. I was able then to start my transition very slowly. So basically I was transitioning secret and having surgeries to be a woman in secret, up to the point that I hit that wall that for me was to live or to die. And then I chose to live. And here I am to tell you a story.
Well, you're telling an incredible story. But what in your view is a woman then? Because you know, this is the age-old question. So in your view, what is a woman then? If it's not biological?
There are so many words that we can describe a woman. A woman, to me, and this is how I would describe myself. Yeah. So a woman is gracious, gentle, empathetic, feminine, giving, understanding, and I really take pride on my appearance as being a woman. I have always liked fashion, but nowadays, as being a woman, I have much more choices and options to choose from. I love getting pampered, getting my nails done and my hair done. Obviously, that's not define what being a woman is. But then if you are a man, that would be frowned upon to some, to take so much care and even wear makeup. Obviously, a lot of men do wear makeup, they do, but it's still frowned upon. So the makeup industry is pretty much mainly designed for us females. So there are a lot of words and there are a lot of words that I could say now. So I just got messed with my words right now because I really get very excited when I talk about this. But there are different types of women and female.
So how do you feel about JK Rowling, who expressed something that most people would see as real and true, that a biological man can never be a woman, and she was saying that. How does that make you feel? Because you believe that you are a woman.
I don't believe that I'm a woman. I am a woman. Even my birth certificate has been changed to Jessica Alves, born a female. I was born in Brazil, so I do have a Brazilian passport, but also have a British passport. And my both passports also stated Jessica Alves, female. And I am a woman in my mind, in my soul, in my appearance, in my body, in the touch of my skin. When I wake up in the morning and I look myself in the mirror to brush my teeth like everybody, I see the image of a woman. And I never felt like a man, therefore I am a woman. The emotions, the feelings inside. So it's very sad to read the headlines lately about JK Rowling, someone that I have read her books growing up, someone that I have always looked up to as a book writer, making remarks about transgender people that are so wrong. She doesn't understand anything about what she's talking about. She's not a doctor, she's not a trained doctor, she's a book writer, and I think that she should stick to what she knows best.
But she might argue that she's a woman, though, so she knows that best.
And so I'm also a woman. I'm a transgender woman, she's a biological woman, but we're both women. And throughout the years, when I started my transition in the beginning, it was quite hard.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Because I still have the appearance of a very androgynous person transitioning. Nowadays, my transition, it's finished. And there are actually people who, not everybody actually know who I am. And once comes up in conversation, say, actually, I'm actually a transgender. People get a little bit flabbergasted and confused, but you're so gentle, you're so feminine, your body shape, your appearance. I say, well, that is what I have always wanted to be, and here I am.
You are.
But it's that her remarks are not they're not necessary. They're very indelicate. They're very hurtful, and she's creating a very bad reputation to herself.
I think she's worrying about the blurring of the lines between women and men in that respect, and I think what her concern is not for trans people. I know she's expressed that she loves trans people and she doesn't, it's none of her business.
So she says that.
But
she says that she loves trans people, but her comments are from someone who is actually transphobic.
Which comment would you say that, in your view?
You do not comment on people's race. You do not comment on people's gender. You do not... Those are subjects that you don't point out and talk about. Like someone like her, with her influence, with her name, broadcasting her thoughts and feelings on something that she doesn't understand. It is wrong. Based on, for example, she says that because us transgender women, we do not menstruate, therefore we are not women. But a lot of biological women, not a lot, some biological women also do not menstruate.
But that would be...
That does not define...
But that would be the exception to the rule, to define what a woman should be able to be capable of. Mm-hmm. Doesn't mean that now there's a new type of woman that doesn't menstruate. It's just that this particular type of woman doesn't have one of the things that she should have as a woman. So it's either a fault or something that's gone wrong as to why she doesn't have that. So I hear what you're saying. Some women don't menstruate, but most women will have the capacity to menstruate.
Yeah.
So I mean, look, I think her point is, and I obviously speak for her, because I'm sort of more with her on this, that biological women are biological women, biological men are biological men. Mm. If you transition to be a trans woman or a woman as you define yourself, then that's acceptable to you. But some people might not see it that way, that's all. But, you know, you look fabulous, and as long as you're happy, I think that's the main thing, isn't it?
Yes, some people, they may not agree with what I'm saying. A lot of people also, majority of people also do not agree with JK Rowling's opinion. But it's a very delicate matter.
I think
you
so.
don't stir things up like that. And there are different categories of transgender people. And then I always say this, if you do believe that you are transgender, either trans man or trans woman, you need help. Just wearing a wig and a skirt and walking down the street and say that I'm a woman, that's not good enough. No, the NHS do support people like us.
Yeah.
There is a medical department that will take care of you, that will give you psychological treatment. I think the hormone therapy is fundamental.
What about, I mean, just in defence of JK Rowling, again, she would be saying she's protecting women's rights. And as you said, there are categories of transgender people, and some people may be as disingenuous, unlike you. Some of them won't be as genuine as you. Sorry, you were saying about the hormones and things like that. What are your thoughts on the fact that now people under the age of, I think it's 16 or 18, won't be able to access those hormones before that age? What do you think? Do you think that's the right thing?
I think that's not the right thing.
Oh, you don't think so?
No. Going back in time, growing up in Brazil back in the 80s when I was born in the 90s, if we have the knowledge that we have nowadays implemented back in the day, I wouldn't have to go through so much surgery. I'm not a plastic surgery ambassador, by the way. It has been a very painful journey, expensive journey. At times I saw death in my eyes. But then, no, I'm alive and I'm here. And then I find myself beautiful and happy. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
If I had that type of treatment at the age of 16, I would have saved my health, putting myself through so much surgery.
But then, did you know that though then? I mean, at that age, did you know that you...
I knew.
You knew?
I knew. But anyone in this country who are a teenage, 13, 14, 16, that feel within themselves that gender they are assigned at birth is not theirs, they need psychological help, and the hormones are fundamental before anything.
But again, a lot of these things haven't had the longevity of time to test whether they're fundamentally safe. And it could be argued that the earlier you introduce things, that it's literally experimental testing because they don't know, they haven't been around long enough, haven't been in people long enough for us to know. And some of the things that are irreversible. And the thing is, there are many people now detransitioning or wishing that they hadn't done it so early. So my thoughts are, if people want to do it, they should do it after 18, or I know puberty, but
simply because they haven't had the appropriate medical support. If they had the psychological assessment prior and during their hormone therapy, they will not be regretting at a later stage. I'm 40 years old. I started my transition when I was 34, 35, and I wish that I started much earlier.
But it's easy to say that, easier to say it when you're older, to look back. If you were younger and you did it and you regretted it, then you've got to live with it. So that's why in my view, if people want to do that, that's, hey, listen, each their own. I'm happy if they're happy. But my bottom line is that at least when you're older, you can then make that decision with all the facts in front of you.
Yeah, but I don't see transitioning as a choice. So basically what you are saying, Nana, it is as if transitioning is a choice. For some people who are actually a little bit confused without having the support of their family or medical support, it may be a choice, but to majority of us, it's not.
Yeah.
I have always seen that as a medical condition that I got addressed.
Yeah, understood.
So it was not a choice. For me, my choice was to live and die. I chose to live in here.
You chose to live. Can we just take a look at Jessica, because we want to see how you look. So you're going to stand up for us. This is you've had all the surgery done. This is the fabulous Jessica Alves. Look at her. Wow.
There's a mic box on.
There's a mic box. I've got the mic. So there we go. So that's your almost £1 million of surgery. It's finally done. Briefly, what's your next move and where can people follow you?
Well, people can follow me on my social media. It is Jessica Alves UK. And I have been here in this country for so many years, but I'm often traveling. I have been doing TV now for the past 15 years, so I do it around the world. So you can flick channels, you see me here, you see me in Italy and Spain, France, pretty much everywhere. It's something that I really love doing, communicating with the public and being a positive role model.
Jessica Alves, thank you so much.